Dear friends, in this video we are going to see remaining two properties of Laplace transform. First property was shifting property, second was effect of division by t, multiplication by t, and now we are coming across Laplace of integration. Okay, that formula is written on the blackboard. You are asked to prove this formula for 5 marks and one more chance of solving question depending upon this. Okay, so let us start. This is called Laplace of integration. Integration is actually 0 to t upon t dt, and we have to prove 1 upon s into phi s. So we start with left hand side. So this integration is Laplace of 0 to t upon t dt. Because of this L, we have to write 0 to infinity and e raised to minus s t. Okay, and then remaining things as it is 0 to t f of t dt multiplied by dt. You can see dt many times. Okay, this is original dt and this is given problem dt. Okay, so this is equal to, here we have to note that we have to integrate by parts. What is integration by parts? There is product, therefore we call it as integration by parts. Formula is there, so I am writing here integration of u into v. What is the formula for integration by parts? U as it is, integration of v minus integration of v, and then u dash, finish. So we choose u and v in such a way that this integral get evaluated. So we call it as we call it as v. Very sorry, this is u and this is supposed to be v, because while taking integration of v, e raised to minus ft is easy than this. Therefore, this can be continued. LHS is equal to u as it is. That means integration 0 to t f of t dt as it is. Integration of v. So integration of v is e raised to minus ft, of course with respect to t. Therefore, it remains, and here limits from 0 to infinity. Right? Then minus integration from 0 to infinity. It is there. You know this. So it gets repeated. Okay. And then derivative of this d by dt of integration 0 to t f t dt, and then whole thing multiplied by dt. Okay. So if you put upper limit, what happens? If we put upper limit e raised to minus infinity, that comes 0. And this everything becomes 0 because this is multiplied by 0 is 0. Here also you can see, if we put 0, then 0 to 0, of course it becomes 0. That's why it is 0 for first. Minus minus plus, that is what is the thing. Minus minus plus. S is constant, so we can take out. And then what are the things which are left? 0 to infinity e raised to minus ft. And now we are finding derivative of integration. Differentiation is with respect to t and integration is also with respect to t. This vanishes. And then we are getting f of t simply. And which gives answer 1 upon s. This whole thing is nice. Okay, yes, it is called as Laplace of f of t, which is same as 1 upon s into phi s, because our assumption is Laplace transform f of t is supposed to be phi s. We have started with LHS and this is the RHS. So therefore this result is proved. So this is called as Laplace of integration. Now ready for example. Once again we repeat this. Laplace of integration, we have to prove 1 by s into phi s. We start with LHS. We use definition. After this, you have to integrate by parts because it's a product of two functions. This function is supposed to be v and this function is supposed to be u. If choice is different, if your choice is reverse, then you are getting same question. Therefore, this is avoided. by selecting this to be u and this to be v. This is integration by parts. This is product of u and v, and then we have to write this. So u as it is, integration of v minus this remains inside the integration derivative. So this is a tricky question. If integration is with respect to t and derivative is also with respect to t, it cuts and simply you are getting f of t, which gives answer. Okay. Now what is the application of this? What is the application of this? Suppose depending upon this you are asked question, evaluate integration Laplace of integration from 0 to t, and here it is sin t dt. If you are given simply sin t. Now we are sure about property because you can see integration inside Laplace. Okay, so this property is applicable. Immediately we talk about t. This integrand is nothing but sin t, and therefore Laplace of f of t is equal to Laplace of sin t. Laplace of sin t is nothing but 1 divided by s square plus 1, and this is phi s. Now we are through because this property is 1 by s into phi s, and therefore call it as 1 and we put in 1. If we put in 1, where Laplace of integration from 0 to t, here f of t means sin t. Because you will think we are putting this equals to 1 by s. This 1 by s is compulsory. Phi s is not compulsory. Compulsory means that is going to change. Okay, the square plus 1, full stop. So this is what is the problem depending upon Laplace of integration. Sometimes this problem becomes complicated because this function is given to be in different form. Okay, so let us see second question. Laplace of integration वरती तुम्हाला 5 मार्कांसाठी आणखी वेगळ्या प्रकारे क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो. तो क्वेश्चन एक झलक बघा कशी ती somewhat difficult. Suppose your question is like this: evaluate Laplace. This is change. Integration is compulsory, and inside the bracket t into, suppose we are given cos t and then multiply by t. Sorry, e raised to 2t into cos of t dt. Right? Now this question becomes somewhat difficult because directly phi s cannot be calculated in this case. Now, for sake of practice, solution, we observe that f of t is equal to e raised to 2t cos t, whose Laplace transform cannot be calculated directly. Okay, so Laplace of this e raised to 2t into cos t, but now we are using property of e, that is called shifting property. Because of shifting property, Laplace transform is given by s upon s square plus 1. It is Laplace transform of actual cos, but because of e, you have to replace s by s minus 2, and then use s minus 2 divided by s minus 2 whole square plus 1. This gives you Laplace transform. Okay, phi s, and this is of course phi s. And further steps are mechanical. That means put this in 1, okay, put in 1 for final answer. So what is the final answer? Final answer is Laplace of this is equal to integration 0 to t e raised to 2t into cos of t dt is equal to 1 by s. That I want to say it's compulsory, and phi s you have to put inside a bracket. S minus 2 whole square plus 1, full stop. This is what is the solution to